Hi, this is Victor Morganti from FactEngine. You've got a graph database or a relational database and you want to hook it up to ChatGPT with a plugin, and you want to get your database over the internet to happy customers. Let me show you how FactEngine can help you make that happen. FactEngine has an API which is web facing, and where you can type in queries in natural language or send the API queries in natural language. So for instance, which customer bought a product that is supplied by a supplier that is based in the USA? The API will return two things: FactEngine query language, and I'll show you why that's important, which customer made an order that is for a product that is supplied by a supplier that is based in country USA, and the SQL or Cypher for that query. It can return the results if you want the API to hook up to your database, but you might have private data that you don't want FactEngine to have access to. So you just want the SQL or the Cypher query, and you want to be able to convert your natural language query into a database query. So for a relational database or a Cypher, open Cypher, Neo4j database, for instance, a graph database, and to be able to get the results to send to your ChatGPT API to get back to your customer so they can interface with the data. So the choice is yours, because the way you would do that with FactEngine is that signing up with us, we would give you access to Boston Enterprise, which is a conceptual modeling and natural language query tool on the web, and we're looking at Boston inside a page on my web browser, and where we have a database for which we have a model. We're looking at the Northwind database and conceptual model from Microsoft. We can look at the model as a graph database. So this is the schema for the Northwind database as a property graph schema, and where we can see properties if we click on the various node types, etc. So if you have a graph database or a relational database, the Boston software lets you visualize your database as if it's a multi-model database. So you have the choice of either producing SQL or Cypher for a graph database, and where FactEngine is incorporated with Boston, and FactEngine lets you do natural language queries over your database. So FactEngine is hooked up to the API, which will send your data or your SQL or Cypher query back to you. Now FactEngine lets you query your database. So for instance, we can query the Northwind database by saying which employee took an order that was shipped to, and I'm going to say the UK, and hit go on that, and there's our result. So that's in FactEngine query language, but we could also do the same thing in natural language. So FactEngine itself is hooked up to a large language model that lets you convert queries from natural language into FactEngine query language, and then convert it to your database query language, SQL or Cypher, that you can ship back to you via the API so that you can hook that up to your ChatGPT plugin to get back to your customer who's interfacing with your data directly in natural language. So let's do a natural language query, and this is even easier than FactEngine query language. So which employee took an order in December 2017 and here's our results. So that's converted to FactEngine query language. Which employee took an order that was placed on order day month the 12th, so for December, and placed on the order date year 2017. Here's our query in SQL. Here's our results. And to train the large language model, you can do that online once we set you up with Boston Enterprise, or you can host Boston Enterprise yourself on your own server if you like. The large language model is trained by a series of query by example pairs. So a natural language query, which employee took an order on the 1st of December 2017, and then you train the large language model by providing a FactEngine query language query, which employee took an order that was placed on order date, and the date in the format that you want it for your database, and you provide a series of query by example pairs which are shipped out to the large language model to return the FactEngine query language that's converted to SQL or Cypher to get your results. Now, as a business, you could spend $100,000 or $1 million trying to set all this up, but it's ready to go now inside Boston Enterprise on the web through FactEngine. Set up an account with us, get access to Boston Enterprise, and start to query your database via Natural Language API for the plugin that you set up inside ChatGPT. So if you'd like to engage with us on that, please get in touch, and we'll work as hard as we can to make that happen for you. Thank you very much.